You're surrounded by darkness. And you can feel from the stone a pulse that feels like a heartbeat. You're not entirely conscious, more like semi-conscious. But maybe with the way you escaped, the way that the spell was abruptly severed, you feel a heartbeat from within the stone. And it's in that moment that you realize the stone to be an egg, and you feel a connection to the egg. Yeah, that's more like on a spiritual level. And you know that it has everything to do with the spell and the magic. You feel bonded and tethered to it the exact same way that you felt tethered to the floor by the magic spell.
Oh, great.
That's all your mind has time to process because you are drawn in by sleep. When you do finally wake up, it is with a sudden start and it is a rough awakening. You hear birds and wildlife outside. And it is loud. Monkeys hooting and howling, birds screeching and whatnot. You open your eyes and there's a beam of sunlight that shines straight into the back of your brain. You start awake and you realize that you're laying on the floor of a small cottage. It smells incredibly old and dusty. On your chest, or in your lap now I should say, is the egg that you dreamed about. But now you see that it's real. Before you. The stone facade has cracked and fallen away. And now that you are holding it in your hands, it's like sitting in a pile of little stone dust, and it itself is white with blue spots all around it. The shell has this sort of sheen that catches every single bit of light, seems like. So no matter which way you turn it, there's always a speck of a highlight, and even when you try to cover up the light, you can still see it gleaming and glinting, even though there isn't a direct light source on it.
I'm pretty convinced that it's a T-Rex. Are they called T-Rex in this universe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. and the Tyrannosaurus Rex is a mighty foe, and everybody knows about him and to avoid them, right? So, you find yourself inside this cottage with this stone egg in your lap. What do you want to do? It's yours.
I'll say, this is all your fault. Roll it off my lap, kind of petty, but really gentle at the same time. And then explore a little bit.
Okay. Make a perception check as you just, glance around the room and take stock of your surroundings.
I want to peek outside too. 6. I'm still seeing spots from the sunlight beaming directly into my eyeballs.
Yeah. You take a look around the room and you don't spy anything out of the ordinary. You look and see that it is a one-room cottage. There's a small area with a stove and a food preparation area. Another small bed. The bed seems to be very comfortable but hasn't been used in a long time, and the sheets and everything are really dusty. Everything is relatively neat, like somebody cleaned up and left it that way, but nobody's been here in a long time. There's literally a blanket of dust on things. You see a small chest. You see that there are 2 chairs.
It's my chest now.
On either side of a very rather nice dining set table. And on the top of the table is a pretty nice dining set. And that's what you can see.
Dining set?
Dining set.
Like silver?
This is the Stone Ages, right?
Yeah.
This is a dining set like hammered copper plates, that kind of thing. Still, it's much more refined and fancy than you would see in the 10,000 BC type era.
Oh yeah, I'm taking that shit.
Instantly starts pillaging.
My instinct conclusion is that this is Bear's secret fuck shack, so shit's mine now. I'll sell it in Bear's honor.
You don't know exactly how much it's worth, but you can guess. You can estimate a guess.
What's my guess?
You are pretty skilled at haggling. Not that you are a huge barterer, but you're a warrior and you've gotten, to go to the market a few times to get your own gear now that you're a young man of 19. And you know a few things about trade.
I know everything about trade.
You squint your eyes at this. You think that this will be worth about 1d6 flint on the market if you take it.
1d6 flint. I'm just going to put it in a pile somewhere really unceremonious. For the record, he is really sad right now, but there's a deep, lingering sense of inevitability that he can't quite get over.
Yeah, you can't help but think about your father for sure. He was actually a good father to you in his own way. Did his best that he could.
That's what he's thinking right now. He was actually a pretty good dad. Good job, Dad. Right, so I'm definitely going to just dig through all the drawers and everything.
Okay.
Anything that I can dig through, I'm going to dig through it.
You find an old, dusty leather and fur bag that has been hand sewn and seems to have seen some use, some wear and tear.
The one bag?
Yeah, you find the one bag. You find 2 small red vials containing an enchanting smelling liquid.
Do I know what it is?
You can chance a guess. You've seen soldiers who are wounded chug this on the battlefield. In the chest, you find a letter. And inside the letter is a single feather. The feather is bright red and shines, like radiating, giving off its own light, and also heat. And when you let the feather go, it just hovers in air. I mean, it falls, but it's at such an incredibly slow rate that it seems to be stationary.
Oh yeah, I'm playing with that for like at least a half hour.
Inside of the leather is this.
Do you want me to read it or do you want to read it?
You can read it.
Okay. It has been observed that the power of a phoenix feather, gee, wonder what this is, can revive any flesh but the most mangled, even breathing new life into the dead. Legends also tell of those who made wishes upon the down, and those wishes being granted. Never worked for me, but it may be of use to you yet. Keep it, even as nothing more than a good luck charm, and a token of our love. That's what Dwells in the Star says.
Make an insight check.
Ooh. He's straining his brain, man. 3.
You think that it is incredibly strange. We have no idea who the letter would be referring to.
I don't know who it's referring to or who it's for.
It's not addressed to anybody. Maybe you would be able to intuit, but clearly not. Father's just been slain. You have this strange attachment to this egg that you just woke up with. You're in a strange place and you don't know where you are. So you're not really too worried about what's on the letter. But you find a crude little short bow tucked away behind the door, and your search does luckily afford you some clothing. You observe the gear. The bow seems to be, fine make and will definitely do for now. So you arm yourself with it and take the quiver. You almost miss it, but tucked underneath the pillow, you find another letter. This one is an apology. It expresses grief for the fact that you found this place. It was always meant to be a gift, is what the letter says. But with the way that things have turned out, now it must always remain a secret. And that if you found this place, then that means that he's dead, the bear is dead. It says, and that means that you're in trouble. It's very clear that the letter is not really addressed to you, but it still instructs whoever finds the letter, if they are being pursued, if they are in danger, then they need to look for Lion. He is the only other person that Bear could trust in this world, the only other person that he would entrust with you. Bear's letter details an unnatural clearing to the north. He says that when you find that, you'll know that you are nearing the outpost, and that his ally, Lion, is the keeper at this outpost. And so the outpost for travelers, right? Like sort of like an inn where you can go and be safe and get food and things of that nature. He highly advises that you travel there first before you do anything else, because he doesn't know who's pursuing you or what state you may be in, and safety is more important than anything else.
Past you would be really surprised, Bear.
Again, the letter's not being addressed to you, so you don't know who he's talking about.
I don't think it's addressed toward me specifically.
You know for a fact that it's not addressed toward you, because why would it be? It's an incredibly old letter.
That's why I was wondering, like, is the dust disturbed around anywhere? Or
No,
nothing?
like, nobody's been here for. Okay, so if you had to estimate, are you a hunter, tracker, or anything like that?
Yeah. Yeah. I say, looking at my character sheet over my eye.
Okay, then you would be able to tell that no living creature has been here for years.
Do I think it has anything to do with my mom?
You can make another insight check.
5.
You think that that's as good a guess as any.
Fair enough.
And it is a good guess. You know, that might be her. So, with that lens, I think maybe Bear's talking to your mother. And if your mother would receive instructions to go look for this person, then maybe he can be a help to you.
I'll pack up all my stuff. Get dressed. Roll up my sleeves.
They're like hanging
Cut
down.
them nice and tight so they bulge in my biceps a little bit. And then I remember to pick up the egg and put it in my bag too.
As soon as you open the wooden door, and the wooden door seems to be made out of one solid piece of bark, you push it open, and you have to force your way out. You're blasted with a concert of natural sounds. Animals hooting, hollering. You can hear dinosaurs howling off in the distance, and the sounds of thundering steps as great beasts walk the earth. You are also greeted with the smell of spring, and the sight of the sunlight as it tries to make its way down to the lower canopy where you are. You have to push your way out through like a curtain of hanging moss to get out of the cabin. And as you push your way through, the curtain closes itself behind you, closing the way to the cabin off from you.
I'm gonna go through that door a couple times, see if it works every time.
When you push your way back through the moss, you find yourself staring into the bottom of an empty tree. The roots are just barren and hollow.
What?
There's insects crawling around everywhere. You're literally just underneath the moss of a huge, almost dying tree. It's rotted out.
Stars is geeking out right now. He's like, oh, what? He like tries it multiple times.
Make a perception check.
18.
You say, oh, what? You hear your voice. Oh, what? Oh, what? Oh, what? You realize with sudden clarity that you are deep within the Treestar forest. Not the edges of the forest, deep within where the trees are the tallest and where the forestry is the thickest, where the animals are the most dangerous and the most hostile. You have absolutely no idea why Bear would send you out here.
It's better than where I was, though.
You think that that is probably the only reason, because it was better than the alternative.
I'm gonna climb a tree. That's the first thing I'm gonna do.
So, Tabaxi, you don't even need to make an athletics check. Get your claws out and you just start climbing.
Actually, it's really undignified, like a real cat. It's like scrambling up the side of a trunk. Like, he's got his pack on his back.
The bark is covered in moss. And now I want to put things into scale for you. When you start to climb up this tree, you look around and you realize the trees are big like skyscrapers are big. You start scaling this tree, but first, before you start scaling it, you take a look at it. It is at least 50 feet wide and goes up as high as you can see. And the canopy is so thick when you look up that only small slivers of light are getting through to the bottom. Okay. As you're climbing, the forest floor starts to recede away from you. You're looking down into the grass where you once were. You see the bushes rustling. Maybe like 50 feet below you.
I want to freeze.
Make a stealth check.
15.
A small, voracious dinosaur comes through the brush. Right where you were before, sniffing around. And then he's followed shortly after by another one. You can't see exactly what they are from here. Already, you're being hunted. You realize.
Are they climbers?
Make a perception check.
9.
You can't see how long their arms are and their legs are from here. You can see that they have large heads and long tails.
So I'm hugging this tree right now, like with all of my legs, and my neck is like craned over backward like this. As I look at these creatures, trying to figure out if they're gonna climb after me. I might just stay that way until they make themselves scarce.
They sniff around for several seconds, circling around, searching. to no avail. But they don't give up. What do you want to do? If anything.
Well, how long are we talking here? Because that makes a big difference.
Several minutes passed, and they're still searching.
If it's longer than a half hour, then I'm definitely going to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
No, probably like 15 minutes max.
If you want to just hang out climbing on the side of the tree without moving, you're going to have to make a constitution check. So is that what you would like to do?
Just a con check?
Yep.
Okay. Yes. It's quite confident in his biceps.
Your body
17.
17. Your body temperature does raise. You get a little dewy. Your face is shaking, but you manage to hang on, and you outlast them just barely. By the time they disappear back into the bushes, you're at the end of your limit. You let your composure sag and relax a little bit, and then you're able to continue climbing unharassed. If you've watched all the way to the end of the video, thank you so much. Please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing this video if you found it to be fun or entertaining in any way. This is the playtest of our Dragonrider class, and we've provided the playtest material below. Dialogue with us about what you liked in the show, what you thought about our homebrew, our combat system, or what you think about our Dragonrider class. Please give us feedback and follow the links on your screen and in the description to find our Reddit and to our Patreon, where we upload new content for our patrons weekly and monthly, and where I will be releasing much of the homebrew content that I created for the Great Valley campaign setting. So again, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for next time.